John Sewell with Engearment.com podcast. This is a live video with the Vice President of Gregory Backpacks, John Sears. Thank you so much for being here, John. Pleasure to have you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks, Sean. Nice to be here.
This is so cool. We're actually getting to see Gregory headquarters out in Utah behind John. This is quite a cool opportunity.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I'm sitting. This is some of the R&D area behind me, and then our prototype labs right over here. So,
Awesome.
and the Wasatch right here. So,
It's
back country, the protos, and R&D. It's great.
Oh, I love it. And before we push record, I got to see the view. It is quite a view you have out there. It's so
Yeah.
cool. Literally close to the mountains right there. And also want to give credit. My first backpacking backpack was a Gregory Baltoro 65, which I just found out you helped design.
Yep, that's right. Yep, I've been with Gregory for almost 20 years now, about 19 years, and I was just telling you that Tabitha, just sitting right over behind me here, she actually helped pattern that bag. So when I first started with Gregory, I was in the product creation side of the business, and was a young product designer coming out of Georgia Tech, and me and Tabitha sat together for about 5 years, and I learned how to pattern, and she learned how to pattern my designs, and I worked as a mentor underneath Wayne Gregory for years. So me and Tabitha, she was kind of new to patterning, and so we got matched up as the two youngsters, and kind of learned our way.
Wow. 19 years later, look at you now. Vice President running the things for North America. This is such a great opportunity. So excited. Well, we have a lot to cover. So basically, there's some really cool initiatives you guys are working on. We're definitely going to go into that. And also for the viewers and the listeners, especially the viewers, you're in for a treat because obviously outdoor retailer is not happening right now. So we can kind of go through some new stuff Gregory is working on over there. So I'm really excited to get into this. So without further ado, John, what are some of the new initiatives you're working on over there?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd love to jump in first. One of the fun things that we're just about to launch. We have some new spring 21 product that's already on the market, already on our website we can talk about, but kind of fun to, give the viewers something that's not out in the market yet and talk about that. And so in a couple months, probably late May, we're going to be launching, really the world's first full plus size collection of backpacks. So we're super excited about putting this out there. We've been working on it for a couple of years. It's one of those things where, as a company, you kind of soul search and think about how can we make a difference? What are we uniquely qualified to do to, help out with the really robust effort the entire industry is making to get more people outside and be more inclusive. And, one of the things that, we do is build bags. That's what we do best. We build stuff. And so we said, we need to, and we've always been experts in fit. It's kind of been one of our mantras from the beginning for Gregory. We were one of the first to launch a women's specific bag, and almost our entire line is gender, 1 for 1. So we have a women's pack for every men's pack out there. So with the exception of a couple of Alpine packs, almost exclusively we're 1 to 1. And that requires a lot of fit expertise. So we said, hey, what are we most qualified to do? And, sitting here are a few samples of the new Gregory plus size collection coming out. So it's 21 SKUs. It's about 14 different styles of product. They come in different colors, different torso sizes, but most importantly, they're all designed to fit folks that the easiest way to do it, pack fit's a little bit different than apparel. But the easiest way to explain it is it will fit the equivalent of an apparel 2X to 6X size range. So okay. It's like a 60-inch waist.
Very good correlation. That is an amazing undertaking. Congrats to that.
Yeah, no, thank you. We're excited about it. And I can grab one of these products and just kind of walk you through what we did.
I would love that.
Yeah, great. So I'll start with one of the things we wanted to do with this plus size was not just have one product. Everyone makes adjustable bags. All of our Gregory packs fit a wide range of body sizes as it is, and they're offered in different torso lengths. Some of them have custom harness components and things you can swap out. So it's not that we weren't already being pretty inclusive with the fit, but this is a different animal. And what we wanted to do was, reach out to the plus size community with a product line that covered the needs all across a range of activities. So rather than just here's your backpacking plus size bag, we said let's give them backpacking, let's give them hydration. I mean, our friends, that have been asking for this as well are saying, yeah, like I want a selection of bags. So we have everything from entry level $50 bang around nano day packs to hydration packs that include a reservoir, to entry level price point backpacking products, to technical, really, really technical premium backpacking products, and kind of everything in between. So that's the cool part about it. Is you go and you get a product selection. You even have some color options in certain cases. And we also went really far out of our way to kind of suck up the margin on this and charge the same price as everything else.
Wow, that's noble of you guys.
That's something that's been important. The feedback's been there, and so it's kind of our commitment to this program, and yeah, we're excited about it. So, when we set out to do this thing, we were like, admittedly, we don't have as many users here that fit the bill in our office, and so we said, you know what, we got to make sure, and we're talking to our friends about it that are out there. We have a lot of ambassadors and things. And so some of our plus size ambassadors were like, yeah, we can do some testing, but there's only so much time in the day for folks. And so we decided to partner up with Jenny Brusso at Unlikely Hikers, who we already had a relationship with. And we said, let's work together on this. And the simple process of design and listening began. And that's kind of what we pride ourselves on here at Gregory is, we feel like we're really good listeners. We set our egos aside, and that's how we learn new things every year, right? That's how we've been designing backpacks for 20 years and making them better every year.
Yeah.
You'd think you run out of ideas. I sat in the plane next to a guy and he said, "Oh, you design backpacks?" He's like, "Well, that must be easy. What do? You just move the pocket up and down and left and right." And I was cracking up and just kind of nodding my head at him. But the reality is, for me, I'm more excited about backpack design than I ever have been, because there's more new materials, more new opportunities, more new, impact reduction opportunities. And now with this collection, some more inclusivity opportunities for folks that just have never had the opportunity to fit a bag. So we sent out a bunch of our normal size bags to them, our standard fit products to the crew at Unlikely Hikers, and then got a bunch of feedback from them, just to start from kind of ground floor. And then we started building prototypes based off their feedback, and then slowly started testing these prototypes and going through the ideation and listening process. So it's been a fun one. It's not exactly what we expected. It was really hard to determine kind of that middle size ground and the fit range. So the 2X to 6X is really where we ended up, which fits all the way up to like I said, 16-inch waist on the very, very top end. So it's going to cover a huge variety of people getting out there. A lot of times people, with their inclusive sizing will stop at 2X.
Yep.
And so we really are starting there because our current bags cover, XXL type sizing. So what we found out though was that it wasn't just about making the bag larger. It was also about the different angles and geometry, and also about accessibility of adjustment straps and accessibility of pockets. So this is what I'm holding right here is a Stout 45. So this is kind of a mid-size entry-level price point, day hiking, large day hiking, or really, lightweight one or two overnight bag. And what you can see here is the hip belt on this guy, right? It's extended quite a bit. You get the longer webbing, but what we've also done is move the pockets all the way to the front of the back, all the way to the front of the hip belts.
Smart.
That was one of the biggest complaints is I cannot reach my hip belt pockets, right? So accessibility is important. We also extended the load lifters on the top.
Oh, yeah.
So as a lot of our viewers here might, know, the load lifting straps allow you to kind of lift the weight off your upper body and onto your hips, which is a really beneficial thing to be able to do throughout the day. It's kind of a back and forth motion that a lot of people don't realize backpacks are meant to do, but you want to be moving that weight of the bag, from your upper body to your hips, give your lower back and shoulders a rest throughout the day. And a good backpack with a framing system, can do that from almost any quality manufacturer backpack. But in this case, we extended them out a bit further. This buckle's normally up here. And so we just put an extension on it, and it's just simple. It allows you to more easily reach that buckle.
Yeah.
And then harness shapes and sizing. You can see the extended harness all the way down, and the extended sternum strap as well. So it's about sizing of the hip belts, hip belt accessibility for the hip belt pockets, accessibility to the upper straps, longer harness lengths, longer sternum strap lengths. And everything else on this bag is going to come with your standard Gregory torso adjustability as well. So you're going to get this torso adjustability. So it's different, right? We want to separate and educate on the difference between torso size. You should think about it almost as like your shoe, your foot length, your shoe size, whereas body girth is associated with whether or not you're a standard fit or a plus size fit. So this particular bag, the Stout, that's the men's version, and the women's Amber. Those come in one size. It's fully adjustable on torso, whereas our plus size Katmai Kalmia that I have here, which is really premium backpacking product line with this ventilated.
Yeah,
lighting's not awesome, but it's a whole ventilated back panel here. Now this one is adjustable, so you can customize it, but it also comes in 2 torso sizes. So you're going to get the perfect fit here. So if you got a shorter spine length or a longer spine length, you pick that pack, and then you pick standard or plus size fit. So I'll walk you through this product in a minute as well. But this is a really fun spring 21 product that just launched in standard size, and the plus size will come out as part of the end of May launch with the plus size collection.
I appreciate you walking through this because I had not thought about the attention to detail you guys have gone into engineering and designing, like the load lifters and the hip pocket placement. That's very thoughtful and very cool.
Yeah, no, thanks. And you're still going to have some difference between men's and women's fit. And some also for the users of this pack that are watching. Educationally, people are there's a lot of different body shapes we're trying to accommodate here, right? So there's no one size fits all when it comes to building a product like this. And so, we recognize that and also want to kind of coach and guide users that if you are, the most important thing about a backpack is getting the hip belt to fit in the right spot, right? And traditionally people, especially men, tend to buy backpacks that are too big. I wear a large t-shirt. Okay, I should be in a large backpack. It's not the case. It's not the case, right? You got to measure your torso size. I know lots of guys that are 6'2", 6'3", they're in a small torso. I'm right on the edge between a small and a medium torso, and I'm almost 6 feet tall. So it just depends on, it depends on your spine length. If you tend to be a tall sitter, when you're sitting down, you're a little taller than, you might be when you're standing up relative to other folks. You probably have a longer torso length, longer spine length, and therefore you're probably a little longer, larger backpack fit. But when it comes to the plus size, we do encourage people to downsize on the torso or adjust your torso size down a little bit if you feel more comfortable wearing the hip belt up higher on your body. So depending on your body shape, you might be more comfortable wearing the hip belt a little bit higher than what we normally recommend, which we normally recommend that people, basically the side of your hips is your iliac crest here, not the front of your, pelvic bone here, but the side of your hips. It's pretty high above your belt line. So if you follow the seam of your pants up, right, you're going to find your iliac crest there. And we always recommend that the hip belts fit 1 inch above that. The top of the hip belt is 1 inch above that iliac crest point. And that's simply so you can get purchase of the backpack onto that part of your skeleton. So you can kind of imagine you want the backpack to kind of purchase onto that part of your skeleton so you can actually transfer that weight rather than it sliding down. So one of the most common things we see in the trail, right, is people wearing those things too low because they're in a medium or large backpack when they should be in a small or medium. And if you find yourself constantly tightening your hip belt on the trail, then there's always gonna be some of that, but it shouldn't be obsessive where you got the anaconda going. You need to pull that hip belt up much higher. Yeah, and you might downsize your pack.
Well, that's good advice. And for correlation for listeners and viewers, I'm extra large on everything in top, and I'm a medium on the torso for my backpacks. So
there you go. Great example.
It's a little different.
Yep. Cool. So yeah, here's a couple other ones. So some of these bags now don't have hip belts. So this here, I'm holding as an Ario 22. This is a gender neutral pack that fits everybody because the hip belts don't have to be shaped and tapered specifically for men's or women's bodies. But this is a super simple bang around, $79 ventilated back panel. It's really cool gradient print, vapor span system, and it's just a really easy go-getter bag. So you can also bang around with this guy in the trail. Also a new product for spring 21. So this is a fun, simple, and elegantly designed product that is at a really fair price point. You can bang around in, and then we have some fun. I mentioned these $50 type, lower price point Nano 16s. This thing, has the plus size harnesses on it, but no hip belt, just a strap. You can remove that, but you can wear this thing comfortably. So, I mean, probably the best part about this process, the most rewarding part about it, has been partnering up with folks, listening to their feedback on our standard size fit, getting them 1, 2, and then 3 prototypes, and then all of a sudden the aha moment happens.
Right.
And I got to tell you, I've seen more tears on this in this design process than ever before, because there's a lot of folks that just never been able to wear a backpack that fits them. And it's that same kind of aha moment that we get from people in standard size bags when they finally get into the right size pack, they finally get into a quality product, and they realize, wow, this is what hiking or backpacking should feel like. It's that same exact feeling. So it's
so rewarding. So rewarding.
Yeah. Yep. So it's been a fun process. So I mean, that's the plus size collection. We're really excited. Unlikely Hikers is a great place to go. That Jenny's built an awesome community there, and there's a great crew of people. They just helped us do a photo shoot. We used some of the testers we've been doing for a photo shoot for these new bags just over the weekend. And so the whole thing's it's been a blast.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
And they're great partners, and check out what Jenny has going on there, and certainly jump on board with that community if you can. It's a great group of people.
I love it. And my family is entirely plus size, so I love that they're going to be able to utilize these kind of products and go on adventures, my wife and I. So you're doing a great thing for a lot of people that really need to have access to the outdoors and proper gear to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. And also remember too, I mean, plus size has there's a wide variety of meanings there. I mean, if you're just a really, really broad chested guy, you're not fitting a normal day pack. And so we have a guy that works here that he's wearing plus size bags now because they just fit him way better. He's not as plus size down in the waist, but his upper body requires much longer shoulder straps. So it solves a lot of problems that otherwise you just can't solve without a whole separate sizing model. So yeah, end of May. Yeah, end of May.
That's so cool. And I'll link to Jenny Brusso and Unlikely Hikers below as well. Very
cool. Awesome.
So what you're cooking up on over there for the Spring 21 collection?
Yeah, so let me show you. I'll show you a really fun product.
I'm so excited. We're in the headquarters for Gregory. This is so cool.
I'll show you a really fun product. So we make, Gregory's been getting into the hydration business for the last few years. We've had a really, really fun time doing it because we have this kind of patented technology that it basically allows you to soft mold, these soft reservoirs, right? So what happens with these reservoirs is because they're soft molded, when you hang them up to dry, they keep their shape. So you basically just open it up and hang it up. And the reservoir just maintains its shape and dries itself out. And so this new 3D Trek is a great example of this product applied to a backpacking specific use. So talking about like solving problems, I've been struggling with these reservoirs, stuffing them down my backpack, all my gear in there, and then there's no way to get it back in. Right. So if I have to take it out to fill it, it's impossible to get back in. There's so much pressure on it. So what we did is we designed this new guy to essentially be a totally different shape. Normally reservoirs are tall and long, and this guy actually will fit in the top skirt of your backpack. So we can maybe link to the website where it shows the different configurations for this guy. Yeah. But the really cool thing about it is you have a quick disconnect, so you can just unplug this guy, and then all of a sudden, you know, you have this unique system where now you can use this guy as a basically a camp stove. So now you have a pour spout for doing dishes, right, or for washing your hands at camp, and it becomes this kind of camp kitchen, base camp, you know, and also backpacking reservoir. That's just it sits in a better spot when it sits on the top of your backpack. A lot of backpackers do that anyway, because you want the weight up high, close to your back. But putting it in the top skirt with that rectangular shape, it's awesome. So,
and it's great advice too. Yeah, you want the weight up high, and I can see that for my dogs. I get that out and just dump them a little bowl of water and be good to go.
Yeah, no. So that's how I use it most, because I get out backpacking, you know, 4 or 5 times a year, but that's it. And so, I'm here in HQ building product and working on everything else a lot. So I get a lot of day hiking in, and this is my new day hiking reservoir because it doesn't fit in the really slim hydration bags. But it absolutely fits in, you know, these mid-size bags like this. So this is actually the plus size version of the Citro. But the cool part is Gregory's got this unique speed clip system. So you basically can just take this guy and it plugs right in this hook. So now I pop this guy out, fill up the dog bowl with it.
Yeah.
So it works great for hiking with the Mutleys.
Mutleys, I love that. I know in-house, actually not in-house, on mountain, we have the Targi FT, the Fast Transition 45 that my colleague Will and his son are using to pick some bags and peaks with right now too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a great system.
That's really cool. I'm a split boarder, but so I let them use it, and they're bagging peaks and putting those skis back there quickly. It's a great system.
Yeah, that is a fun one. Yeah, that's cool. You guys are using this. Okay, so I mean, the other major one, I kind of told you guys about these bang around Ario packs.
Yes.
You know, which come in a variety of different styles. This one's a little top loader. These are really just simple. These are kind of about accessibility. You know, there's so many folks getting out on the trail right now, which we love to see. And these bags have this ventilated system, which is beautiful color gradient, and they're just fun, easy bags to use. Right. What you see is what you get. They got some nice little pocketry and organization. Most importantly, they're really comfortable and accessible. But the really exciting product is really this Katmai Kalmia, and that's why we have a plus size version and a regular version of this guy. But I'll just take a minute and walk you through what this thing's about. So I have a standard size version here, but basically this is, you know, Gregory's take on a ventilated, you know, backpacking product in the, you know, 260, 280 price range. So it's a premium product, but it fits very close to your back. So traditionally we worry about ventilated bags kind of pulling away. This bag is designed to fit very close to your back. And it's designed with Gregory's kind of unique dynamic fit proposition, which if you see this little guy right here. Yeah. So that little piece, right, of the backpack, which is on both sides of the hip belt, is what adheres the backpack. It adheres the hip belt to the backpack, and they act as flexible bushings, right? And so they actually have flexibility in them, and they stretch, and they're molded that way. And what it allows the hip belt to do is rotate.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So since the very beginning, you know, when I mentored underneath Wayne, you know, Wayne Gregory, our founder, he, you know, basically taught us, you know, one of the secret sauces of Gregory has always been dynamic fit and comfort. And in order to make a bag comfortable, you really actually have to provide a certain amount of flexibility to the product so that the bag can almost absorb that natural motion of your hips.
Yes.
As you walk. So if you don't have that, if you imagine like, you know, strapping a brick to your back with a climbing rope, you're basically, every movement and step you make is all the weight of the bag is going to do the same thing, right? And so essentially the whole bag's doing this as you walk down the trail. And we all know, especially you, you know, as a health and fitness expert, you understand that that's firing tons of control muscles and core muscles, and that's going to add up in huge calorie burn over the course of a day. Mm-hmm. It's going to make you less comfortable, and it's going to, you know, cause fatigue. So this slight motion and flexibility where the bag almost stays steady as you walk. And it actually just absorbs that natural hip motion, and same with your shoulder straps. And so this is called the Free Float 360, because you basically are getting this free floating motion through these two flex panels. And you're also getting on the upper, you're getting a dynamic motion with the shoulder straps through Gregory's unique rotating shoulder straps. So if you look, this might be tough to show, but you can see back here, you basically have rotating shoulder harnesses. So those do two things, right? They give you some of that natural freedom, so you're not tied to your bag super directly. And they also auto fit your different shoulder slopes, right? Mm-hmm. So you're gonna have, you spend more time in the gym than I do. You're gonna have, a lot more muscles up there, and you're gonna have a little bit, higher slope in your shoulders, whereas I might be a little bit flatter. And so that's the way those things work. So that auto rotating shoulder harness is key. Some of the other things on here is you have this whole entire lower comfort cradle of the bag. Really is designed to wrap and almost hug your lower body. So it transfers all that weight really well, and it's got a really firm lower back lumbar pad that's going to transfer weight awesome, almost as a like a Baltoro would, like an on the back product. And you're also going to have then a Polygene treated, which is a new fun thing we're doing, but basically a Polygene treated back panel. So Polygene's this antibacterial odor resistant technology that you've seen in apparel, and folks from the North Face to Patagonia have used it, but it's a cool technology, and it basically just reduces the stink of your backpack. Man, great. That's simple, which is for anyone that owns backpacks, it's pretty valuable. It's kind of a cherry on top. And then in the actual bag itself, I won't go too deep, but this thing has a lot of the premium features that you would expect out of a backpack. It's going to have nice, really big open pocket in the front, nice stretch mesh pocket, full access to your water bottles on the go. So it's got this deployable water bottle holster down here, so you can put your water bottle right in there and access it while you're on the trail. It's got a nice full big side access to the main compartment on this product. So if you want to get into the main contents,
I love side access.
The whole main body, which is a nice light way to do it, where you don't need the whole front access. Sleeping bag compartment, everything you'd expect, and also built out of all recycled materials, right? So this thing is reduces the carbon footprint, I want to say by about 28%. So rather than just build stuff out of recycled materials, Gregory built this software tool, this company in Germany. It's like a life cycle analysis tool. It's a pretty cool way to allow our designers to build stuff more responsibly. So basically we put in all our materials, all of our weights, and it spits out the impact number of 6 different categories, right? So it'll give us carbon footprint impact. It'll give us acidification, eutrophication, blue water. It gives us all these different measurements. Carbon's the most common one people know and understand, but essentially it allows us to put different materials into this thing, and we can see how we impact the bag. And so like virgin nylon's a huge impact, we found out. Metals are a big impact because they're so heavy. But this thing's got a really high performance, a mix of recycled and non-recycled products, but relative to like an all nylon bag, which is what we used to build, the carbon footprint on this thing is almost 30% reduced. And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty fun tool for us to use. And, it's super interesting. I don't know there's also a remaining offset that you can tell. So like you can kind of compare it to the number of miles you need to drive to offset the remaining impact of the bag. So I want to say this one's like maybe 60 miles or 70 miles, but essentially if you carpool, right, or ride your bike for 70 miles, you're offsetting the remaining carbon footprint for the rest of the product. Now there's still 5 other impacts, right? But the nice thing is with Gregory bags, they're going to last you forever. So that's what the lifetime guarantee is for.
Yeah, my Baltoro I had for at least 10 years before I donated to some kids for backpacking. Great.
That's the way to do it. And that's a huge impact, really is. I mean, I think the lifespan of a water bottle is like 12 minutes or something. And then a pair of shoes is like almost a year. And so like you go up into products like, ours in the industry, the the money's worth it because they're built to last.
Oh, sure.
A lifetime.
That's awesome.
So, I don't want to take too much time, but yeah, that's kind of some of the new stuff coming out. That's the plus size collection. So yeah, we're super excited about this spring, man. It's gonna be a good fun spring for everybody.
Oh, that's awesome. And the Katmai is a Katmai. There's a few different sizes, 55 and the 65 here I see for men, 50 for women, and a 60 for women. And then the Gregory 3D Hydro Trek 3 liter is out as well. I've linked all of these below because I'm going to get that 3D Hydro for sure.
Good. That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And then those Katmai coming out like 260, 280 in price points. So it's still not, above that $300 price point like a Baltoro, but a lot of value for what you're getting. And I gotta tell you, the system is my favorite new backpack system. That comfort cradle just hooks up with your body. While it's not like overly obtrusive, it still has that flexibility, so it fits me. It's a nice system.
It looks
adjustable hip belts too, so that's nice.
Oh, great. Well, I look forward to seeing that in person for sure. And they're available right now, so everybody you can, and I'll have links below where to purchase as well. John, thank you for welcoming us into Gregory headquarters in Utah. This has been a lot of fun. I appreciate what you've been doing, what you're currently doing, and how you're allowing others to access the outdoors of all backgrounds. It's really fantastic. Hats off to you.
Thank you so much, Sean. I appreciate it. And yeah, thanks to the Gregory team and Untitled Hikers and everyone involved in that project. So appreciate the time, man. Good to see you.
Awesome. Good to see you too. Engearment.com listeners and viewers, I'll have links below for all the resources we talk about, Unlikely Hikers, all the products. And until next time, take care.